Yo, 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 what's going on? It's your boy Key 757, and this is Up for Debate. We are back. My two guests, I'll let y'all introduce yourselves. Actually, y'all not even guests no more. This is the show, so what's up? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's Devonna.
What's happening? It's swimming this motherfucker, you know what I mean?
All right. Look, no, excuse me. No, most of the time we start off with thought provoking stuff. I'm not even gonna do it that way. I'm just gonna come in and start talking about something. It's something that kind of caught my attention that I wanted to bring out. I'm just gonna start with the statement and see where y'all heads at about it. The statement is Dr. King, Martin Luther King, created the black sellout. How y'all feel? Do you?
No, I don't agree with that, man. You can't.
Why not?
What make you say that though?
Well, I've checked out a couple of I guess you would call them scholars or lecturers or whatever, and it's crazy because Malcolm X is kind of one of them. But what they brought to my attention is Dr. King was kind of the leader of the civil rights movement, and he was pushing for integration.
Right.
Well, because of integration, we lost kind of like the black pride. So basically, for example, during that time, there's a guy named Dr. Claude Anderson. He said that his people from South Carolina, and they owned a bus route or bus line, right? And it was predominantly black because of segregation. Well, after integration, blacks stopped riding this bus line as much, and it eventually failed. So I say that he kind of created the black sellout because, and of course it's unknowingly, unbeknownst to him, but because after that people stopped shopping, we stopped shopping with ourselves as much, and then it became other things like well, if I do what the white man doing, I'm showing this is a token of success. See what I'm saying? If I live in a white neighborhood, I show that I'm successful, and that created also, well, hey, white man doing me right, I'll dog you out so I could be straight and integrate.
Okay, but I feel like people been doing that, like the dogging out so you could be straight. They've been doing that since slavery, though.
Right. So, absolutely, that's true.
And hold on, but then with the bus route shit, like, yeah, okay, after integration, they could go back to, they can shop with the white people, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that ain't, just because y'all was able to don't mean you had to. You could have still shot with your peoples. Maybe the other people's shit was better. You don't know, man. Like they got more money. They can make shit look better and do better sometime. You feel me? So,
and it might have been better, but that's what I'm saying. It kind of created this space for people to sell out. And yeah, you're right about the slaves. You got your house niggas that was doing it, but what I should say is he ushered in a new wave of the black sellout. Where you at?
You think Martin Luther King? I think, okay, Martin Luther King, he was kind of like doing politics. So where you get just a regular black man, black woman becoming a sellout from Martin Luther King?
Well, it's like
wait. I think it go back to slavery with white people, just like today.
Yeah, you're right.
I give you this, you can get this, and I give you this.
Yeah.
But tell me what your black people doing.
Right. No, don't get me wrong. You're absolutely right. And let me also state that this is just a thought. This isn't necessarily how I view. I do believe that Martin Luther King was a great man and he stood for a great cause. But I do think that some people kind of took advantage of it. And what I'm saying is this. Okay, so you live in a black neighborhood. Before integration, you've been shopping at this black grocery store. Integration happens. Now all of a sudden you're starting to shop at the white grocery store. Now you could say, oh, it was better, it was this and that, but you was just fine when it was just, you ain't had no choice. You ain't complain. But now you trying to go over there and create a complaint.
Yeah, because we live in a society where the white man has better things
due to resources
that we do not have.
Right.
So it's on TV, it's on the newspaper, it's on anything that you can find information about anything new that the white people have, like materials and TVs and stuff. Oh, they got better bus line. I'm gonna get on their bus.
Right.
Because of white people. We were brought here, and now we like their things. We learning their religion. We learn everything that they do.
Right. Now you're right. I don't disagree with that. I think that I just think that it created a monster. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about something that's really recent. The attack on the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. Trump just recently, quote unquote, killed the Iranian general, and now they want to, they claiming that there's an imminent attack back on the United States. Where y'all stand with that? Mouse.
What do we attack him for?
Apparently, they so-called attacked the U.S. Embassy.
Okay, I guess that's my ignorance, because it's either I don't care or to find out about what's happening, but I don't know exactly what's going on here, and I don't know if that's very important for the America that we live in today, or if anything is going to happen, because I don't have no insight on that.
You think it's kind of like just like the war in Afghanistan and Iraq? You think it's just going to be something overseas and it'll never reach us? What do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like that it could, but not necessarily in the city that I live in. You know what I mean? Like,
well, what if we
in Frankfurt? So like,
what if
they
it
gonna
turns
get out
into
of that? Like,
what if it turns into World War III? Because it could possibly happen. Because Iran is an ally with Russia, and Russia's an ally with China, and they would be able to get to Frankfurt.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't saying they wouldn't be able to get here, but I don't feel like it's the main spot they
I don't
bring it to. You feel me? So like, I'm more like I'll worry about that when that shit start happening. Like,
I feel you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the trending news segment of the show. This first one is kind of crazy. Let me see if I can pull up the picture here for y'all. It was supposed to already be up, but anyway, let me start with the that's the picture. Let me start with the headline here. It says Texas man arrested after carving name into girlfriend's head. Just hearing that, where you stand?
Boy, you crazy.
he looked crazy, bro. He probably got her name tatted and then was like, "Yeah, you gotta get mine."
She sat there and took that pain, baby.
Yeah. Okay. So according to a report, a 19-year-old man named Jacob is really his name, Hildreth, was arrested this past weekend in San Antonio, Texas, after he reportedly beat his 22-year-old girlfriend and then tried to etch his name into her forehead with a knife. The alleged victim of the crime told the news and police that Hildreth grabbed her by the neck and punched on her 10 times after their argument escalated to another level. From there, she claims the man used a knife to etch his name into her forehead, then ran from the scene. Where y'all at with that?
You ain't gonna never leave me, bitch.
Do you think
that's some insane shit, bro? What?
You think he crazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm
From
the picture alone, I think he crazy just because I feel like the tats on the faces just be too much. I don't know why people do that shit. Like,
Jacob with this blessed, do that say, what that say? Blessed?
It said blessed.
like.
Boy, his eyes, he a beater. Look at them eyes.
But he only 19. He ain't even been nowhere yet.
But it seemed like
He
people
looked like he be getting high all the time.
It seemed like men who beat women know how to find the women who will allow it.
Maybe,
it seems that way. I'm not saying that's true.
No, I see what you're saying. I feel like in this case, with him only being 19, he hasn't really fell in love enough times to really know how he loves or anything like that, or what he want out of love. And maybe he just loved too hard, and you know, he just kind of he has a fatal attraction.
I think maybe he been through a lot of shit and seen his family did. You only learn from your family, so
Shit.
I think the root comes from the family, and baby boy need therapy.
Yeah, he need therapy. But to me, he just seems like a follower. You know, I don't know if he raps or not. So I would think that he got the whole. He don't look like he in a gang. So I think that he just got the face tat shit from rappers. And he's a follower.
I could see that, but I think he also might be out here getting high and shit too, though.
But we judging the book by the cover. We don't know Jacob.
No,
At
but
all.
we don't know him, but we know his actions.
Yeah, he one of them.
So
and he white.
So if he beating
3 tattoos on his face.
Exactly. If he beating his girlfriend, he probably ain't fighting too many dudes.
No, at all.
So yeah. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next trending news article. This one we have here in Kentucky. Kentucky judge accused of having threesomes with staff in courthouse.
Oh, she one of them.
Wow with it. Hey.
She one of them.
And to be honest, when it comes to judges, she don't look that bad. You know, when I think of a judge,
she hit.
I mean, I'm talking about when I think of she hit, but I'm talking about when I think of a judge, I think of an old white lady. She don't look that old. But anyway, according to reports, a Kentucky judge named Dawn Gentry has been accused of pressuring lawyers into having threesomes with her and a pastor who used to be her lover. Allegedly, Gentry would not give the lawyers preferential treatment in their cases if they denied her request. The Kentucky Judicial Conduct Commission alleged that Gentry used Snapchat to flirt with lawyers, and Gentry has also been accused of letting employees get drunk while on the job. The 38-year-old judge has denied the allegations against her so far. Stay tuned for more details. Yeah, 38. She don't look that bad. She don't look that bad. She probably is getting it in like that.
She look like she 42.
With the pastor though,
she nasty.
Nasty.
She nasty.
But look though.
You raunchy thing.
Yeah, she on some other stuff.
You damn hussy.
This shit sound like a TV show for real.
Yeah. It does.
They gonna make a show about that.
They should.
Wait, she a Kentucky judge?
Yep.
You one of them.
Hey.
I knew it.
But how does that make you feel as far as like, especially with us being black in the judicial system and how we already know it works for black people? How does that make you feel when you hear a judge is doing these type of things?
It make me feel like this the bitch who sentencing motherfuckers life because she ain't shit.
Right.
It's probably gonna. Matter of fact, a lot of people might get out because of that. Like they gonna.
Oh yeah.
Do a
investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times they be letting people go when the judge do some fucked up shit.
Yeah, if they know about it, I don't think that pertains to us.
Nah, not necessarily. But that's just crazy that stuff like that go on, and you know, if this is going on, then I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that some of these judges are partaking in narcotics and money from, you know, they dirty. They just as dirty as anybody else.
Just remember this: a judge ain't unhuman. They still human.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. All right, we're gonna move to the next segment. I don't have a picture for this for you guys, but I should have one for when people view it. Missouri teacher asked students to set your quote unquote set your price unquote for slaves in culturally insensitive assignment. A Missouri teacher was placed on administrative leave after asking students to put a price on slaves as part of a culturally insensitive assignment. The unidentified teacher gave a class of 5th grade students this assignment. It read, quote, your own plantation or farm and therefore need more workers. You began to get involved with the slave trade industry and have slaves work on your farm. Your product to trade is slaves, unquote. Jeremy Booker, the school's principal, sent a letter to parents basically apologizing and da-da-da-da. And basically, like, I'm gonna kind of skip through. One of the things that was one of the students, I should say, basically this is like there's a sheet, there's an assignment, and you got questions or whatever, and one of the things that the students would come to would say, set your price for a slave, period, blank, these could be worth a lot. So one of the students put it says set your price for a slave, and the student put $5 for 2 slaves.
Wait, but see, money was different back then.
Yeah,
so I don't know
was.
how much $5 really was. So that might not necessarily been, according to them times, a bad price in their head. But to a person nowadays would say some shit like 5 million or some crazy shit. Because for it to happen nowadays, because they still be having slaves nowadays. Right. They be stealing people and shit be happening. But they prices is like $5 million or $1 million now type shit. Mm-hmm. But I seen a story though. One person they sold the baby for like $80,000 or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. Some low ass shit. I was like, that's some fucked up ass shit. One, you shouldn't be selling nobody's kids to nobody. But right. You know what I mean. But as far as the experiment, it's a history class, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if they was doing slavery for history, right? Mm-hmm. They was in that time frame. It's kind of related to what was going on during that time. So I don't know how.
What does that have to fucking do with fucking teaching a fucking child mm-hmm. history?
Right.
Because they were.
Why does that part?
They were reviewing slavery. So to go into a deeper thought of it, you can understand. And when people coming with these prices, and you thinking in your head, hey, that's some fucked up ass shit.
That's
what they was
evil.
Doing.
So why would you have?
But it gives
kids?
You a better idea, a deeper idea, because nowadays people don't even like these young kids. They don't even peep what motherfuckers went through back then. They don't even care. You feel me?
Devon,
so this could give you a reason to care because you can experience this and you can think about it harder.
I don't know about that. Devon,
this give you a reason to care? Are you crazy?
It's some teenagers and shit who do not care, bro.
Hold on, let her.
Don't you see how these people be acting? They don't care about none of that shit.
What does what does a child, what age is this? Maybe
fifth grade.
5th grade?
Yeah, like 11 or maybe 10.
11 or 10? What does that have to do with, I'm gonna teach the kids how we used to sell slaves, and this shit's still going on to this day?
And then I'm gonna have the kids set their price
and set a price for a human being.
And that's your way of teaching
about
them
the good that can come from it.
The good,
because the thought that they put toward it can open their mind to a thought of something else, of trying to be more proactive toward the slavery that is going on today.
I feel like there's a lot of ways to teach this. But this is definitely not one of them. I think
this is very touchy for people, but I don't think that the
project. Who is it touchy to?
That the experiment would not have worked though.
Who is it touchy to?
Who is it touchy to?
It's touchy to black people, of course,
but not to you. Because you think this will teach a kid.
I'm not saying that
the price that we should put on ourselves.
I'm saying that I can understand the thought behind it that she could have been thinking.
Was they selling Mexicans? Was they selling yellow people? Was they selling all brown people? What's this assignment doing for the society we live in today?
I don't think there's no benefit of the doubt. I think this was very classless. You could have came up with any other way to teach slavery. Actually, you can tell them the brutal truth, but I don't think you should have them make a price for themselves. Like, children, this is how it went down. So, how much would you have bought a slave for? That's bogus. There's no way around that. But I agree with some of the stuff you're saying as far as like teaching them. Yes, they should know. Black should know. White should know. Brown should know. Yellow should know. Everybody should know about this brutal history so that it does not repeat itself. But as far as the way it's delivered, it is totally wrong. It's very tasteless, and I don't agree with it. Period. That's bogus. You do not ask a child to purchase or put a price on another human being. You don't do that.
Why? When that's what happened.
That's what happened, but you don't ask a person who.
So you trying to leave certain stuff out. You shouldn't have to leave nothing.
You ain't listening.
You ain't listening.
I am listening.
Why you gotta teach it that way? Why you think that's important to teach somebody?
There was a price.
You should sell. I'm gonna give you a paper, and this. What's your price on mouse?
there's a price regardless.
What's your price?
If
$2.
got a price on me, and my price $2, motherfucker come kill me for $2.
They ain't about killing.
They ain't killing you.
You
To
talking about,
use you for slavery, to pick their cotton, to pick their clothes out, to serve them dinner.
Do you know
what
how
are you
it
talking
feel?
about?
If my price was $2, of course I'm gonna be fucking upset. That's a bullshit ass price, and that's what the experiment will teach you. That hey, that's fucked up that they was really doing those kind of prices. That's really the prices they was doing. $50,
Actually,
$100.
that's not right. Actually, that's
you feel
not.
Me?
It wasn't $5, but
it was more like $100.
It was
I'm saying,
like
so you gonna
something.
see what
It
the
might
different
even have been
prices.
$1,000
All the
depending
kids is saying, and you gonna get an idea of how they think it was, and then they gonna see what the real type prices was, and they gonna understand more, bro.
Nah, I think you should just teach them outright. You know what I mean? I don't think you should have them choose a price. That's just what I'm saying. What you saying, I agree with you saying, explaining to them this is how it was, but I don't think you should, okay, here's the assignment. Now you choose what you think a slave should be worth.
It's a difference there, right?
Yeah, that's a big difference
Then
there.
teaching them what happened and saying, here's a price,
now,
put a price on a human.
Okay. Now hold on. Now, these children don't need, based off what you're saying, these children don't need that full of an understanding. They don't need that because they don't live in that time. They just need to learn about the history of that time. They don't live in a time where they need to put a price on a human, even if it's a mock slave trade. They shouldn't even be doing that. They don't live in that kind of time, period. So they don't need that.
We shouldn't be selling people.
Yeah, we shouldn't be selling people at all.
We shouldn't be selling people. But I feel like the deeper you go into everything, the deeper people can feel it and understand it and be more willing to do stuff positive and political to where it won't happen again. I feel like it can push people toward
what you asking for?
I'm looking at this as a psychological view. You know what I mean? Like,
this will fuck you up psychologically.
I don't
10-year-old.
think it will fuck you up.
10-year-old.
I don't think it would have fucked me up.
You fucked up for thinking the way you thinking right now.
No,
you fucked up, Mouse.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
Y'all just don't see.
We're gonna move on.
I see, like, I'm an experiment person.
We're gonna move on.
Like,
this
ain't
ain't
a bad way of teaching.
Okay, we're gonna move on, and this is kind of dealing with the same thing. But this is in DC. DC Elementary School apologizes for asking black students to portray slaves. Now, a school in DC recently issued an apology for assigning black students to play the role of slaves in a classroom exercise. What you said you like those kind of experiments, right? So Principal Carrie Brockcourt wrote a statement saying, at Lafayette, we believe it is important. We believe in the importance of teaching painful history with sensitivity and social awareness. Unfortunately, we fell short of those values in a recent 5th grade lesson. Brockwood noted the lesson had students playing inappropriate and harmful roles like black people drinking from segregated fountains and an enslaved person. The principal continued, we deeply regret that we did not foresee this as a potential challenge in role playing, so we could set appropriate perimeters to protect students. I want to hear what you guys say, Mouse.
On this one, I need to know, like, details. Okay, were all the slaves only the black kids of the class, or were there white slaves too?
Let me read it again because maybe you didn't hear me correctly. I'll start with just the title of the article. DC Elementary School apologizes for asking black students. It doesn't say only slaves. Black students. Okay.
So if there were white kids that were slaves with the black kids that were slaves, they're reviewing.
Yo, what's wrong with you, bro?
You slow.
What do you mean?
So why would
say only black kids? Things get boosted sometimes. So like I'm saying, if it were only black kids, I feel like it would have said only black slaves.
They said that we believe in the importance.
I know they weren't slaves though.
So
why would the experiment?
What slave movie you seen white people being slaves?
They said that we believe. They said that we believe in the importance of teaching painful history with sensitivity and social awareness. So if they teaching the painful history, There were no white fucking slaves. There were none. So they say that it's black students. They didn't say black and white students, black and brown students.
Only ain't no fuck the only. It's only gonna be black people.
Right.
That's not necessarily true. If they're trying to teach it in a proper way, then there will be slaves of both colors for the play.
Wow. Who teach slavery the proper way?
No.
According to y'all, there is no way that proper to y'all because y'all don't want to let them teach the shit.
I don't agree with that.
I don't want to let them teach the shit deeper than the just read the book and take the test shit.
Yo, what are you talking about?
You don't learn about that in school
man.
anyways.
Listen, man. I watch your foot. You can learn about slavery without role playing. That's
role
ridiculous.
playing is one of the best ways to learn, though.
Man, please. How many times have you role played and learned some shit? I bet you role played as Johnny Appleseed or something, right? Do you know anything about him now?
I never did a Johnny Appleseed.
Okay, so who did you do?
But I did just research some Appleseed shit yesterday, though. Actually,
okay.
So that's funny that you mentioned that, though.
I just remember my brother had to do a little Johnny Appleseed play, and I guarantee that if I asked him about, he ain't gonna know shit about him. They did a little role playing right there.
People don't know shit about shit, but that's because they choose not to look up shit.
But you don't have to role play.
And what kind of teaching did he get? He probably got that read this shit, take a test shit.
Okay, you as a parent, you would be okay with your child being portrayed as a slave in school. You would be okay with that.
I just said like earlier, if all the kids in the class, if it's mixed up, everybody's playing different parts. If there's a fucking white kid that's a slave too, the Hispanic kid is a slave too, we got some Hispanic masters, we got some black masters, then it ain't no problem because then you're just teaching. But when you divide it up and make it really look like that, then it's gonna be a problem.
So it's
gonna be a problem for people.
So if it's mixed up, it's okay.
People can't handle that.
So if it's mixed up, it's okay.
If it's mixed up, I had no problem with that because you're teaching.
Damn, your mind is enslaved. Your mind is enslaved. I can't even. I can't argue or talk to you.
You're not out of the box with it.
Your box is little and small.
Out of the box with it, bro.
I'm not that.
And then you inside the box. You're not even out the box.
Other people are because I can think of it in an out of the box angle.
Bro. I don't.
Y'all letting yourself be too close to it to think of the out of the box angle.
No, I'm not even. It's not. I'm not. Fuck that box. That's how I feel. Fuck that box. No kid, white, black, nobody should be in school portraying or role playing as slaves. It doesn't matter.
It's you can hold on. So if they doing a fucking movie and the movie got a drug dealing or a prostitute, if you getting ready for acting, you gonna do a lot of that shit. In movies, it's little kids that's in these movies. Okay, they in the shit.
They in
so
these
ain't
movies.
No different.
They
bro.
in these little kids.
If I'm acting. Period.
Oh my God, yo, these little kids.
It's 12-year-olds in fucking drug dealing movies, prostitute movies,
stupid,
gang movies. It's little kids in the movies.
Let the people
That's
hear
role
this.
playing it too. What
I want y'all to hear this. I just want y'all.
Are you listening?
I want y'all out there to listen.
Okay, let me say something.
Wait.
Let me say something real
fast.
Let
him put his foot in
It's my
mouth.
turn.
So if they doing a play, that is acting. That is part of theater. You can't.
Okay.
Listen. Let me go too.
Wait.
So what about the kids that's in this? What about the kids that's in the slave movies?
You got to stop cutting people off. You got to stop.
You
got to let us talk.
Finish.
You can cut both of us off. You got to let us talk.
Go ahead.
Now, first of all, you trying to compare a school exercise to a movie. You're wrong. Wait, you're wrong. You ready to cut me off again?
You said it's a
Let
play.
me finish. I did not say that. I said my brother played in a play as Johnny Appleseed. This is a school exercise for 5th graders. It is not okay. Now, you went from mixing it up is okay to, well, you know what? If they acting like a play and these kids are in movies, then it's okay. Okay, how many kids have you seen in a movie playing as a drug dealer? An example you use. None. There might be kids. There might be
like 12.
There might be kids playing as slaves in movies because that's the way it is. But there's no white. That's the way it was. But there's no white kids. So what are you talking about? This whole mixed in. Okay, well, you know what, little Johnny, you can play the slave this time. We'll let Tyreek be the slave owner. That's not how that shit went. Bro, and then you cannot hold on, and then you cannot, and then you also accurate looking. And then you also cannot compare a school exercise to
10-year-old school plays.
You cannot compare a school exercise to a play or a movie where that child is getting paid. This is something that they're teaching the kids. You're here to learn. The way I'm receiving my money or whatever in school is through knowledge. I'm not getting any kind of compensation through the pocket. I'm getting it through the mind. And you're teaching me to play as a slave so I can learn how slaves went, what slaves went through. I don't have to be that to learn that. That's bullshit.
I think you taking it too.
I'm not taking it nowhere.
Man.
They shouldn't do that type of shit in schools, period. That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck about mixing it up. I don't give a fuck if it's black or white. They shouldn't do that shit in schools, period. They need to just teach the brutal history and leave it at that. Devonna.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Mouse, I don't know what you on tonight. Your logic
you looking
is
at
so...
it as it's gonna brainwash people, but if you not that
No, not brainwash.
Only weak people really get
not brainwashed. I'm
though,
thinking
so
about children.
I don't,
I'm thinking about children in the school and what in history, the history that you need to learn that we didn't know about, where we came from.
You say only
and things that happen.
You said only weak people.
And I also I know what you're
Mind's
saying.
weak
I know,
but how strong is a 10? How strong is a 10-year-old's mind? How strong is a 10-year-old's mind? You saying weak people like we talking about adults?
So. We talking about school in the school right now. Y'all gotta remember that. Okay.
Well, yeah, whatever. That shit crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next trending news topic. All right, woman gets attempted murder charge for running over a teen for being Mexican. Mouse, where you at with this? I can't wait to hear what this nigga got to say.
Bro.
Well, he said
what? You can't run people.
It's
Come
real
on,
racial tonight.
Come on, bro. Ain't it though? But you can't just run over nobody. Like that's just not okay at all. Like you, like, you running over people.
So you mean there's
people.
no underlying knowledge or underlying enlightenment?
Why you trying to compare that to the other shit?
I'm just saying.
Get out of here.
So there's nothing we can learn.
This is not something ain't nothing you can learn from somebody just run over somebody over.
But you know what?
All you can learn is the story behind it, and it still ain't gonna be a good enough excuse unless they was trying to kill her.
You know what?
Okay,
look.
All
I gotta say is, look at her face. She is proud of her run over.
Oh yeah, for sure. A woman in Iowa named Nicole Franklin was arrested and charged with attempted murder after she hopped on a curb and ran over a teenage girl because she was Mexican. Franklin reportedly confessed to hitting the girl and also went on a rant about Latinos to police officers. The woman reportedly drove her Jeep Cherokee on the sidewalk where the young girl was walking. Wow. Franklin hit the girl and the teen suffered many injuries all over her body. That is crazy. Hit him with a SUV.
You know what? I know what happened here. Let me tell y'all the story.
Oh, here we go.
This lady had a bad experience with a Latino Mexicano. She had a bad experience. Mm-hmm. When she seen this girl, she was like, "Fuck a Mexican." Nah. And I'm sorry. That's how it went. I know she did. She had a bad experience. Why would she just do that? Look at her face.
She might have did, but like she is purely happy with this.
She sure is.
This thing she did.
Like, I think it's a little deeper than
a
bad experience.
I think though that maybe something happened. Maybe she had a dude and they lost a job maybe to a Mexican. I'm trying to give her that benefit of the doubt because like. You like, oh, and then we've been broke this whole time. We lost our crib. We lost this. But I feel like it ain't that though. Like I feel like she just really don't like them motherfuckers.
I can see that though. I can see Carmela taking her job. Got pissed. Carmela, you shouldn't have taken my job, Carmela. Get your ass out of here. That was kind of. All right. All right, so the next one, man, this is a little bit deeper. I guess y'all want me to get away from the racial thing, but let me see if I can pull this picture up real quick for y'all. Nope. Okay, here we go. So this one here, it's the headline says, "Creators of Gay Jesus film on Netflix attacked with Mazel Tov cocktails." All right, the offices of Porta dos Fundos, the production company behind the Netflix satire suggesting Jesus was gay, was bombed on Christmas Eve, according to a report. The company's Rio de Janeiro headquarters was hit by a Mazel Tov cocktail attack on Tuesday morning. According to the outlet, the fire broke out after two petrol bombs were thrown at the building. So, where y'all stand with that? What y'all feel about that? Just hearing that part.
You know what? When we was at work, Don actually told me about this like scenario of Jesus being gay, and I didn't have no clue of that. I never heard that story before in my life.
Okay.
So with this, I'm like, let white people be white people. Let them be themselves. They love gay shit. They love gay shit. Let them be.
I don't know.
But this ain't based out. This ain't white people stuff. This is based out of Brazil, I think.
Okay.
Rio de Janeiro's in Brazil, so.
They be fooling out there anyway. But I don't think they necessarily should have made this movie. It's a comedy though.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's first of all,
it being a comedy now, like.
You think it's okay
because for comedians sometimes cross the lines, I feel like, but sometimes I think people sometimes get too touchy. I'm like, he a comedian, he gonna say fucked up shit. But
in comedy, do you think there? I mean, I'm sure a comedian will probably disagree, but do you think there are certain things you should not touch?
It is for other people's feelings, not because he might not feel the same way, so that's probably why he made it, because he didn't feel the same way. But when you got doing things on that big a scale, you don't want to hurt too many people's feelings and shit.
You know what? It probably is like a underlying scale of like, all right, I ain't gonna do this, but everybody have different comedy. So for some comics it'll work and some it won't. In this situation, them look like white men.
They
I don't care. They look like white men, and I'm gonna go to Kevin Hart's situation. They did all that to that man, which is on Netflix a little bit. Went all hard about the little Oscar shit about a comic, a stand up he did.
No, it was a tweet.
And these.
It was a tweet that he said about his son.
No, it was on his stand up too. He did it on his stand up.
No, he didn't do it on stand up. You talking about when they made him apologize or whatever?
No, I'm talking about the gay stuff he said.
That was a tweet.
That's what
that was a tweet.
Yeah, them was tweets. He did some
so
tweets.
That one,
but then they also did bring up the shit he said about his son.
Yeah,
with the corduroy thing. That joke.
No, and about if his son was gay, he'd throw the fucking
that was a
shit.
Tweet.
I'm saying he said a gay joke too in one of the stand-ups too.
What I'm saying, but my point is, Kevin Hart did all that, and they was going hard. White people was going hard, but these white Brazilian men, because they look white to me, I don't care. I don't even care the race. They went hard on Kevin Hart. They should go hard on this, I guess.
Probably even more so than they went on Kevin Hart.
Really. Well, they went hard on Kevin Hart because he was saying something negative about gays. In this one,
no, but
is this negative or positive?
On the tweets, he was talking about dude, and dude ain't get mad at it, then shouldn't nobody else get mad at it.
Right, and he was also talking about his own son. But in this case, this is a gay satire film, and people are pissed about it, mostly because it's dealing with Jesus.
Exactly.
And I feel like
that's religion and gay that's a problem.
Well,
it's a problem.
It is and it's not in a lot of ways, but you know that's no here nor there. What I will say is this: I don't know if satire should live within the means of the Bible. I don't think that we should see a satire film about Noah or Moses or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that as far as satire, that shouldn't be touched. If you can figure out a little nice little clean little knock kind of joke about, religion, fine. But if you're going hard trying to bash Jesus and make a joke about, because I've seen people make jokes about the stigmata, the holes in his hand, and what he would do with the hole. I've seen people make jokes about that. That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? So certain things like that, I'm not with. But if you make a clean joke about it, fine. You know what I'm saying?
This ain't everybody's religion, so what offends you don't offend other people.
Exactly. So we don't know what the main religion is in Brazil or wherever they made this movie.
Well, they got that huge Jesus statue out there.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, Rio did.
Okay, I ain't never been there, nigga.
I don't know, but I've seen. Me neither.
But I'm saying,
no. But wait, you just said something about we don't know if the other people. One of y'all said, I'm not sure which one, but about other people not being in the same religion. I feel like if you're not in that religion, that's even more reason not to talk about it.
I feel like it's even more reason because you don't care about the other person's religion.
Exactly.
Right.
So why would you do it?
Because you're
You
making
don't
fun
care.
of it. It's
you
a
don't
comedy.
care. It's a comedy.
But if you not part of that, you shouldn't make jokes about it.
People do that all the time with everything.
Like what?
With everything.
Like what?
Jewish.
Motherfuckers don't be football players, but they making motherfucking comedy about the shit. Motherfuckers don't be terrorists, but they can make a comedy about that.
Football.
Remember that whole comedy movie? What was it? The Dictator or some shit?
Football is not a lifestyle. It's not a religion. Terrorist is kind of subjective because you can have domestic terrorists too. So I just don't think so. I don't think you should make fun of. You can make fun of like she just said, Jewish. You can make fun of a Jewish person because you got your stereotypes. So you can make fun of an Arabic person or shit like that. But you can't make fun of their religion. Like I don't see nothing wrong with making fun of a Baptist, black Baptist, but don't make fun of their religion. Is what I'm saying. All them black folks love to dance in the club. They be doing this. That's okay.
What about all the monk comedy shit they be having?
Yeah, you can make fun of the monk as far as
But they make
stereotype.
fun of the whole thing though.
I don't know much about monks to know if they talking about.
Remember
what
that
they
whole
believe in?
little thing on Wayne's Brothers where they had Marlon go be a monk for like a minute. He was tweaking and shit.
Nah, I don't remember that. But we're gonna go ahead and move on. This is the last one. This is kind of a funny one. In this one, it reads, Big Gip catches backlash for supporting heterosexual Pride Month. Where you at with it? Where you at with it?
I think it's funny, but for him to get backlash for that, I mean, he might have just been being silly, man. Like,
well, and I'm showing y'all.
We got all year though.
This is
I guess that's how they feel. Huh?
This the post that
so
he
we
put
the
up.
white people now, huh?
This is the post that he put up, and in the post, y'all see he got heterosexual people with an umbrella blocking the rainbow. So, Goody Mob founder Big Gip landed himself in hot water after supporting heterosexual Pride Month on Instagram. He captioned the post. Hashtag message of the day, with the total push of other ways of living, let's all remember we all came from this right here. No disrespect to no one, but let's push this more in 2020. What y'all feel? Y'all feel like he was wrong for this?
It's definitely nothing wrong with that post.
It's positive.
Right.
I didn't catch no negative.
None at all. None at all.
People are sensitive.
I think he was just trying to get people to be more proactive with teaching the way,
build a family,
the proper way to reproduce, and that's what we're supposed to be here for. So
right, but do you think this post could be quite offensive with the whole blocking and the umbrella?
Yeah.
That partially, yeah, he could have left the rainbow colors out
if he wanted to, but whatever.
But because it kind of looked like, okay, we got the umbrella blocking or shading. Damn.
It's shade.
Actually,
it's
shading it is. Ooh.
Yeah, that's shade.
That's shade.
It is a little shade.
When you look at it like that, that's shade.
It doesn't matter.
They should have did the picture.
It doesn't matter.
He might not have been on that, but the picture. Whoever made his picture, because he didn't make his picture.
Right.
So whoever made his picture thought about that, and because now I see the shade. It's an umbrella and it's shading the rainbow, shading the gate.
Like, stay away from us.
Not only that, but if you look at it, because a picture says 1,000 words.
Damn,
it's
that's
almost
crazy, though.
It's almost as if the parents are blocking the gay from the child.
Ooh. Hey, whoever made that is cold.
This picture is
He
deep.
started some shit. Hey, that wasn't even Gip fault. I don't think he did that on purpose.
I don't think he did it, and it wasn't negative.
Unless he made it.
But now,
if he made it, then yeah. But if he bought that shit from somebody, or just reposted it from somebody.
So, question: if they start doing a heterosexual
a
pride
world.
parade and all of that all over the place like they're doing,
I'm going.
Would you go?
Yeah, why not?
I'm just asking.
I'm going.
Hey, it's gonna be cool. I guess everybody's gonna be there and just showing love, and it's gonna be vendors there, get you a funnel cake.
But that's kind of almost like a regular
parade.
Why ours regular though? Why heterosexual?
Because most
but theirs is weird, ain't it?
Cause
y'all's is different, ain't it? But why heterosexual different?
Right.
It should be a parade for it.
Heterosexual.
The same.
Heterosexual
I just feel like all the regular parades is gonna be the same as this parade. Like it ain't gonna be because you don't really notice the gay people when it's a full parade unless they like super like extra with the shit. Cause you just be walking right past somebody and you might not know they gay.
All the motherfucking rainbow flags you see, you gonna know you at a gay parade.
No, I'm saying, of course, at they parade, but I'm saying if it was a hetero,
like say this was like a James Bond movie type shit, and you running like, dun, 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 and then you like go through this room and go in this building, jump out the window in the middle of a parade, and you look around, you gonna be able to know what parade you in.
I'm saying the hetero parade is gonna look like a normal parade for real.
You no, I'm not.
I said the hetero parade would just look like a regular parade.
Not until we get our own flag. We get our own little.
Yeah, if you got your own flag, then
What's it gonna have?
Is that gonna be the flag?
It's gonna be black. It's gonna be black with a white circle in the middle with a black H in the middle of that.
Get out of here.
Hetero. I'm at the right parade. Anyway. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next segment of the show, Sticky Sitchies. I got a couple of them and I got one that's kind of good. So you ready? You ready? This more so for you, Mouse. Would you still jack off if when you hold on? Would you still jack off if when you came your semen was just one big sperm and afterward you had to fight it?
No, what? That's nasty as hell.
What would you do?
I'd be good. I'm straight, nigga.
But
I ain't
look,
trying to fight no big
you be in the bathroom.
Like how big is his sperm? Like
the
size of a mini fridge?
Right. You in the bathroom, right?
I want to jack off, but
girl,
I know I'm gonna have to fight.
Look, your girl in the living room. You in the bathroom. All of a sudden, your girl just hear a commotion in the bathroom. You in there fighting. Baby, help! You did it again.
Get out of here. What?
Would you still? You wouldn't do it though. You scared of your own sperm?
Bro, I'm not about to be trying to fight. You said it's a big ass sperm. Like how big is this sperm,
It's
bro?
big enough to fight.
No, I ain't fighting no sperm.
Like,
what if it's your
nasty
size?
as hell,
What
bro.
if it's your size?
Ugh, that's nasty, bro.
now it's nasty. It's yours.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fight sperm, bro. What the fuck?
Man, that's funny.
It's like I don't want to fight blood, neither. I don't want to fight none of that shit. Like what?
But it's your blood or your sperm. You gotta fight that shit. So you just not gonna jack off.
Nah, if I'm good, as long as I can fucking bust a nut and still be okay. Like I ain't gotta fight it. All right, then I'm gonna just wait on that.
Yeah, but what if your girl ain't going? You gonna be?
I have to get a new chick.
Your ass about to become a monk. You gonna be all.
No, you didn't say it. Man.
Floating in the living room.
This nigga stupid.
In Indian style. Anyway.
So hold on, what you gonna do?
Man, we gonna have to box. You know it's on.
He gonna be boxing every time. Be like, you get done. He gonna instantly try. Have to get
Cook
an
that
energy.
chicken.
You gotta think about it, bro. Because when you did it, you lost a little energy. So then you gonna have to try to get your energy back real quick. Oh shit, damn. He quick. Like
you gonna have to jack off in the woods, but your car running. And just and run in the car.
He gonna have to jack off. He gonna jack off with the thumper next to him. He gonna
grab the back of your car.
He gonna bust and be like, hold on.
That's fucked up.
So sticky.
Yeah. So watch this one though. This is a good one too. All right. Would you take $10 million, right? But for the rest of your life, there's a snail that's trying to get you. And you can't ever be touched by the snail, otherwise you die. It's going for you at all times, but at the speed of a snail. So you can be in a different country, but try not to forget he's gonna eventually show up.
How smart is this snail?
It's a snail,
It's
man.
just a regular ass snail.
How much money you say?
$10 million.
Nah, fuck that. Cause you gonna be asleep. That snail gonna get your ass eventually.
Hell nah. That snail gonna
get your ass.
So, like, you gotta spot the snail first, right? So when that shit too much. I tried.
That snail gonna be sneaky on you.
I was gonna make a whole silly ass story,
The
but I ain't
thing
gonna do that.
is, it's a snail, so it could be crawling under something you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, but like, it depends on how far away you was from that snail at the beginning. Because if he was in like Florida and you in Cincinnati,
he coming though.
all you gotta do is just keep moving and moving. He can never
You
catch
gonna
you.
be
Like,
You gonna run out of money.
You gonna get tired.
just make sure you making money as you moving with the money.
Oh, okay.
man.
That snail gonna get your ass while you
if you
sleep.
got investments, you can be on the move all the time.
You're gonna be in the middle of a board meeting, like, and it's gonna pop up out of the.
That
in the
nigga
office.
can never get that fast. He
okay, logistics. You dodging
You
this
gonna
shit. Okay,
you gonna be sick. You gonna
what do
be
you think?
seeming. People gonna think you kind of crazy because you taking it to them extremes, but you gonna get away from that snail.
Bro, I don't know, man.
I can't work here anymore.
Unless the snail just got all seeing power and just know where you finna go to, and he gonna kind of meet you there.
That's the point.
Yeah,
he always know where you at.
Duh, he coming.
You ready to take that money for this snail?
Yeah, that snail cold. He gonna catch you then.
You gonna put it.
He gonna be like, all right, I know in 10 days he gonna be over here, so I'm just already starting now. Like, nah, bro. It's take a snail probably 10 days to get from Frankfurt to
He
Lexington.
can be smart.
Man.
He can be smart and be hiding in your clothes.
Yeah, it
one
might
day.
take 10 days, but you'll get somewhere. You get to a paradise, like you get to like Bermuda or somewhere and be chilling and think everything cool, sipping the damn
Take that nigga
pineapple, and then all of a sudden you been there for weeks.
Take a snail.
You ain't even thinking about it. You done forgot because don't think you won't forget.
Take that snail.
You gonna forget.
Don't
Your life is going on. You gonna forget about him someday. Nah, I ain't gonna worry about
like
that.
you just said, it'll take a minute for him to get what's that? 22 miles. 22 miles. It don't. First of all, there's snails underwater. I know you know that.
What?
You ain't know that?
You ain't say what kind of snail it was though.
It don't matter. It's the one that's gonna kill you. Alright? If he touch you dead.
Now this snail got other powers besides he
No, bro. It's this. You always gotta try to make it all.
The snail can get killed, man. Somebody might can step on his ass.
Nah, bro. It's like, all right, some
cold.
magical.
The cold ass snail.
Some
Man, get
magical
this cold ass
genie,
snail out of here,
genie
man.
or something pulled up. Like, you can get this money, but it's gonna be this snail. It's gonna always chase you. If he touch you, you dead. So basically, you gonna move to like France or something, right? It's gonna take months for him to get to you. You gonna be out there chilling. You done got used to the life. You gonna forget about him. Now all of a sudden, you gonna be asleep, going to the bathroom, and he gonna trap your ass in the bathroom, coming in while you
Get out of here,
try to take a
bro.
shit. You like dodging his ass.
This nigga got a snail off of SpongeBob or something, man.
No,
You tripping with this snail.
I'm just saying, man. I just don't think. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, yo. I don't know if I'll be able to do it because that shit
You
is.
got a snail on your back.
Boy. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next segment, relationships. Let's start with the first one. Why do women think a man is acting like their father when they tell them something in their best interest? Why is that?
Devonna, tell us.
It's all about the tone of voice and how you say it.
Oh my
God. Mean what you say what you mean, but it's how you say it.
So a dude can tell you in the nicest way possible something in your best interest that you may not necessarily want to hear. You won't feel like it's your father. You won't feel like he being your father.
Yeah, but some, people, girls, women be in their own ways. So
all the time.
So if you got that type of woman in your life, you know how she is, and everybody feel that way. Even men feel that way. Like, now you telling me stuff I don't want to hear right now. Yeah. I don't care. That's how everybody feel. I feel.
Yeah, I could see that. Mouse, where you at with it?
I don't know why they be feeling that way. Like,
do you feel like men can take it more so than women, or women can take it more so than men? Like Devonna just said, like men go through it too. But do you think we can handle it better than women?
Yeah, I think we handle it way better because I don't get mad at or whatever. I just be like, all right, if I would have did that to you, you would have been like this. You feel me? That's normally what I do when they say something to me. Mm-hmm. I don't really get in my feelings that much.
But are you telling your woman how you would want it to be said if you do really have to say it, even if she is going through her go through? Yeah. Are you telling her how you want it to be said to you? That's the difference.
I will say, hey, I don't like when you do it like that. If you would do it more like this would go better. I might say something like that.
All right, but this is the thing about that. Like, a lot of times, the first time it was said might have been nice. You just didn't pay attention. And then I gotta keep, I ain't saying
If
myself,
you gotta
but
keep repeating,
you gotta keep repeating. It's gonna eventually sound like I told you.
It is gonna. That's exactly what it is.
And that'll be the only time they hear you.
And that's how. And that's exactly how we do. We done said it nice about 20 times. Okay, now I'm just tired. Do the shit like.
Right. Devon, where you at with it? You think men handle it better than women, or what, or vice versa?
Yeah, I think men handle it better than women because women are stubborn.
Facts.
Men too.
Men stubborn
Men
too.
too.
Now, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Men stubborn too, but women.
Y'all be
We a
stubborn on
different breed.
everything.
I think that it worked both ways, but I think that in some cases, not all, women tend to have to hit their face on the floor first before they learn.
that be true a lot, man.
You gotta fail like hard. Women sometimes it seems like, and men do too. So don't get me wrong. I think maybe it's just a human thing. Is that some people more than others, but in my experience, it seemed like some women that I've encountered just gotta like fall hard as hell to be like, all right. But then again, and this is something that I've learned of recent. Women really need men to depend on. You know what I mean? And men have to be more dependable, period, for women, period. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? We have to be more dependable, and women need someone to depend on. That's why there's this nature of things.
I feel that. I feel like it comes from your father figure first. You depending on your father, and then you get handed off to the man who you possibly supposed to be with, and it's a man in a household. A man is supposed to be a leader anyway, so it's gonna come off like a man is like telling you, like acting like your father anyway.
Exactly. So why even say this shit to us then?
Because they don't like it, because you not they damn daddy.
Because you ain't they daddy.
We ain't they daddy, but it's just gonna seem that way because you were passed off to me,
right?
And I'm supposed to be looking after you and making sure you're okay. So if I'm telling you something in your best interest, it's because I'm doing my job.
Yeah, and this is like I said in the beginning, it's how you say it to people, and most of the times you could say it nicely and the woman still be like fucked up about it. So
see, that's the thing. Women have to submit more. That's just what it is. You have to submit. You can't be an independent woman in a relationship or even have anywhere near that kind of mentality because it's just not gonna work.
Not at
you
all.
know what I mean? No, I'm talking about that mentality, period. You just can't be thinking like that. You have to be able to look at the man like, all right, come on, what you got for us? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's why men need to be more dependable. Like, okay, look, I'm gonna take care of this and that, and to get taken care of. That way, she can build the trust of, okay, I can let go and leave it in his hands. And when he do tell me something, I'm okay with following it. But if you a dude and you a fuck up, just constantly fucking up and keep on saying, well, you gonna do this and do the opposite and da, you can't expect your girl to wanna do whatever you say.
And she ain't.
And she ain't. And then you gonna keep on talking about this and that and sounding like a daddy, but you ain't shit. You know what I mean? So, we just got to change the whole structure of it all. We just got to change the structure of it all. Come together and have these kind of conversations. All right, we're gonna move on to the next relationship question. It's really not a question, but yeah, it is. Is it okay to be friends with benefits with an ex?
As a single person?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, of course.
If y'all got an understanding and y'all both mature enough to try to keep y'all feelings out of it, I think you can.
But I don't know if you can keep your feelings out of it. That's your ex.
I mean, everybody can't do that. Just people who are less emotional can probably do that.
I don't think it's healthy.
It's probably not healthy.
I agree.
Because I feel like probably all of us in this room probably been through that experience, and you still messing with your ex, and it ain't going nowhere. But damn.
Then at some point, if it ain't going nowhere, or if you find something else, or you just want to be just by yourself for a minute, then you got to make the smart decision to break it off and not keep doing it.
It's not healthy at all, I don't think, because what if your ex end up finding somebody in the midst of y'all being friends with benefits? You're not gonna want to just let go like that.
If you
gonna
honor whatever agreement y'all had, you are. But if you didn't honor it and you let your feelings get attached again, then you let that happen. You should have broke it off at that moment yourself.
As a man, it's probably easier to do that. But as a woman, when you only having sex with this one
it's
person,
some women that's cold at that shit nowadays.
Well, don't get me wrong, but them ain't the kind of women we really want to be involved with for the most part.
True.
So we talk about
your ex though, so you kind of know this person a little bit. So we ain't talking about just like a random ass girl who just having sex with people or a random ass guy. We talking about an ex you messing with who y'all not even together no more.
Right.
Y'all about to get feelings back involved and just say you texting somebody else like shit.
Okay, so
I'm liking this girl now.
So if it gotta be an ex of a long time then. Because what if it was just an ex, y'all was together for like a month, and then y'all was just like, nah, let's just
not
be
really
friends.
There ain't no relationship for real. We ain't gonna put that as a relationship.
So we talking a relation, so like at least a year together.
Yeah, it's 6 months to a year.
6 months.
I think you can fall in love in 6 months. It'd be like the very beginning stages.
But I think I could be just friends with benefits after 6 months though.
You could, but that might also.
That's what I'm saying. So it depends on how long of an ex she was. Then I probably wouldn't try to do that at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it depends in the end. Okay, on the last one, what do you do when your significant other is emotionally unavailable? What do you do? Is there something that you can do, or you just gotta let it run its course?
I think you gotta, cause some people built like that, like they might be what is it, autistic or something or something. So
man, we're not talking about no autism. All right, let me say it like this. Like, all right.
Okay, I'm saying there's people with certain things that make them
like
hard to
anxiety.
Yeah, that. So sometimes, I
Depression.
mean, not even necessarily. Yeah, a lot of things. So some people ain't emotionally available because of those things, and it might not necessarily be their fault.
But what do you do as the significant other? What do you do?
If you knew it ahead of time, then you knew what you was getting into. So you just got to kind of learn to cope with it in a way, or try to find other ways around it that you can get some of what you're looking for. And maybe it might not be the manner you wanted it originally, but this worked.
It sounded like you tried to put it in the most intricate way that you possibly could, which really wasn't that well, to avoid it.
What?
You pretty much tried to say in a whole lot of words that you just avoid them.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, you like, all right, so if you knew that from the beginning, then you find a way to cope with it, or you just find ways around it. That's what you just said.
That's not avoiding it. I say when I say find ways around it, you got to cope with. You know what you're dealing with, so therefore you find other ways to get the emotion you want from them, like in a different way than you originally wanted.
Okay, let me. I think you thinking about it a different way. This person is emotionally unavailable. Okay. This person is emotionally unavailable. I don't think there's any ways around that. And I don't think you can try to trick them or try to use ways to bring emotion out of them, especially if they, like we just used examples of depression and anxiety. You know, you can't just, okay, well, you going through this anxiety right now. We at the mall, and she just start having this anxiety feeling, this anxiety attack. You can't just be like, you need to straighten up. Bring the happiness out.
You know
no,
what?
I ain't saying it like that.
I'm just saying you can't.
You know what? I think this is real.
That's something you have to learn to deal with.
This is
and
real.
Help them through it. Like you have to help them through it.
I think this is
that's
the hardest part of the relationship you can do, because this is going part of thick and thin.
You signed up for
that.
You signed up for that
because
job.
most people, I don't think I've been in a situation where I handle it correctly. I don't think a lot of people handle it correctly, and most people give up on the person who's being emotionally unavailable to you, because everybody got needs. I
honestly feel like you gotta let that shit run its course. First of all, there's no handbook for it,
right?
And I don't feel like there's nothing you can really go to or find out, because everybody's different, and I think everyone's emotional unavailability is different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can't just approach it the same way. So with that being said, you just gotta let it run its course. And a person could be emotionally unavailable because of a loss in their life, or an anniversary of a loss, or they just going through bad luck. Whatever the case may be, you kind of gotta just let it run its course. Be there, but don't be overbearing.
Right.
And that's pretty much the only thing that I could say.
You just gotta keep trying to get through to them, but just when they not ready, you take a step back. You know what I mean? Let them breathe a little bit. Approach maybe in a different way than the last time, or you just you give them their time. You feel me? And just keep trying to see the little light in the situation. You know what I mean? If they're showing some of it change.
Try to
you know what I mean, just keep
it.
trying to.
But here's
that's
the thing.
hard task.
That's
you
hard.
gotta really love
right,
somebody,
and that's what that is. And if you can't,
love.
if you're not going to do that, then you should not be in that relationship because you signed up for a job when you committed to that person.
Here's another thing though, and I'm sure y'all can agree. Between the sexes, a man's emotional availability is different than a woman's or unavailability. I feel like when a man is emotionally unavailable, me speaking for myself, in fact, if I don't feel like being bothered, I just don't want to be bothered like at all, and just let me just go through my thing and be done with it, and then I could come back. But I feel like women, they kind of like don't want you to mess with them, but while they in the corner or wherever other room, they want you to come in there and check on them. Da, 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 da. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's different. You gotta understand that. Like I think men can handle it better just by just like let me just deal with this.
Yeah, you gotta know who you dealing with.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta kind of try to. Hopefully, that the person who's going through they go through, give you a hint or help you out with something like, all right, you need to talk to me, because this is affecting me too.
Right.
When you acting that way, so
yeah.
That's a hard task, like I said.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, man. But it's something that, and I see that now. That's something that we all go through, man. So we got to figure this shit out as a people too. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't necessarily mean that this got to be your significant other. It could be a friend or coworker or something like that. So we got to kind of like, be mindful of these things. But anyway, we're gonna move on to our my favorite segment of the show, the Put You On segment. I already got mine. You probably ain't got that because ain't shit. But anyway, all right. So my Put You On this episode is a TV show called Servant. I'm loving the show. It's very different. It's very, very different. It takes time. It's a slow build. So I would highly suggest binge watching it. Don't try to watch episode to episode like I am, because it kind of will piss you off. But it's worth every episode. It's worth it. So check out Servant. Binge watch it. It's about a couple I think they're in Philly, and they had their baby died, and the mother is kind of dealing with it in a hard way. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know what I mean? You gotta watch it, yo. Check it out.
All right. I actually do got me a motherfucker Put You On. Right now, y'all, I'm geeked because I got something to watch for a couple of days. Good Girls. They on season 2. The shit, I like it. Watch it.
Mouse, what you got?
I ain't even got nothing. I ain't gonna lie, man. I forgot all about that shit.
That's all right, man. You'll Put You On be all kind of long anyway. Long way. Yeah, man, check out this app, man. You can save money. You could call cabs. You could he's like a YouTube.
You want to save money?
Yeah, you just drop in the box. Anyway. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and conclude, man. Y'all make sure y'all check me out on Instagram at keys_757, and also Up for Debate TV 75. I'm sorry. Up for Debate TV on Instagram and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe.
Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.